Hello, this is Edward from Bricksmaven, and this is part 15 of designing a one-page wellness spa website. As you guys know, if you've been following this whole series, I created 14 videos literally designing these three one pages, as you can see. Right, we went to the different sections, and especially the first part, I built it together with you guys, and then I think it was from the fourth part. I just pre-built them and just gave you an overview, because sitting down through designing the whole thing will just create like really long videos if you really want to see the details, right? So I did it that way, and this is what we ended up with. So now that we have these beautiful designs, obviously go back if you have not seen that yet, because from this video we're going to start in bricks, right? So I'm just going to give you this is just a short recap of what we've done, so that you know that we actually build this thing, right? We build the whole thing. I keep saying building, design the whole thing, right? So I didn't use any AI. This is just all built using the pattern library of Bricksmaven, and we built these and built some custom blocks, patterns. Sorry, some things are custom, some are just the basic pattern, but then filled in. Right, we added the colors, the images, and that's how we got to this end result. I'm pretty happy of what we created here. So let us just it's time to build this, right? So what is it that you actually need, right? So for the next step, I'm just going to go over to bricks, right? You need bricks, you need WordPress, you need bricks, right? So the purpose of these videos is actually to show you how the process works using a pattern library. Actually, I actually want to answer the main question: how do you use a pattern library for the best results? So and especially if the pattern library has a Figma UI kit, that's even much better, because that's just the professional workflow. We start in Figma, right? Starting Figma, then or any other UI interface program. It can be Sketch, it can be whatever, right? And if you're just using also AI, right, in Figma or and this paper design, the other software you can use to design your to create your design, and then move it into bricks, right? It can also be Cloud Code, whatever you're doing, right? Always start with the design, make sure that that's validated, and move on to bricks. So what do you need? As I said, WordPress, bricks. What else? I installed, let's go to my plugin, right? I installed Happy Files, because I use Happy Files for media, to order my media, right? So I have them in maps, and I know exactly what images are needed for specific pages, right? It's just better than just throwing them all in your media library. So in this case, I for now only have one. I just added the logo, right? So that's all that is here. Let me just add this real quick to the alternative text. So once I start, I will then, because the idea here is to actually, I'm going to, moving forward, I'll be creating this design, building the design section by section. So I'll first start with the header, then I will then move on to hero, then the trust strip, then problem. But I will, for example, once I create the hero, I would also create this hero and also create this hero. So the videos are going to be quite lengthy, I already presume, but it's for a reason, right? Obviously showing the end result is nice, right? But you always have the option to just skim through, right? Or if you really want to sit down and learn how it's done, you actually watch the video. I'll try to make it as educational as I can. So yeah, just look out for that. As for this video, this is just basically an overview setup of how I start, how I move everything to bricks, and yeah, this is, let me see, what else did I forget here? Oh yeah, so you need, let me get that, give me a second. Let me just bring that in. You need a framework, or a framework would be, I would say a framework is helpful to have one. So let me just fetch it real quick, bring it in. So a few weeks ago, I created this Bricks native framework. Obviously, you can create your own. Obviously, Bricks has their own, but this is the specific one I created for Bricksmaven, right? Because if you are someone that is already using like Automatic.css core framework, advanced theme, you already use the certain way the variables, the tokens are written, right? So like you're used to like primary or text s or whatever, right? And the native Bricks, okay, Bricks doesn't have its own framework, but Bricks gives you the UI to create your own, right? So you can create your own colors, your own spacing, your own what else? You can create your own variables, you can create your own classes. So basically, you can create your own CSS framework. So this is the one I specifically created for Bricksmaven. And if you go to, I'll put this link in the description, but I also have this video up on the channel to free Bricks native framework. You can download it if you want to follow along. Obviously, you can use Automatic CSS, you can use Core, you can use Advanced Theme Framework. It doesn't really matter which framework you're using. You'll be able to achieve the same results. But this one is for free. You can grab it. You can, or you can get a license, or you can just grab the framework only. This will lead you to the free version of Bricksmaven, which has the download for the framework. So I hope this is clear. And if we just scroll down, you can just see the colors, obviously, right? Have them all. You can see the values, the spacing, the width, and if you tweak anything in the Bricks, in the style manager, right? If you change the variables, whatever the values, it will also be reflected here. It's just a visual style guide. I also included this as a download, so you can import this page and also use it on your own site. So you can also see the changes visually. Obviously, you can do a deep dive into this, change your own, if you're really technical like that. If you want to go technical, you can change the variable names, and you can update this old file and make it your own. Do whatever you want with it. I don't want to stay too long on this, but I just want to know that this is available, and I'm using this same framework to build our project. So let's move on to the next thing. So for now, I've said you need WordPress, you need Bricks, you need Happy Files. You need a framework. It can be any framework. You can use this one for free, and that's basically it. Nothing more, nothing less. Because I'm not using any. Normally, I would say what's the thing called ACF, right? Advanced Custom Fields. But it can be Meta. You can use Meta. It's called MetaBox, I think. But I'm not using any fields in this build, so I'm just keeping it. I don't want to use too many plugins, so I'm just keeping it really light. Yeah, okay, so that was it for the what do you need section. Now we're moving on to the setup in Bricks. So I just want to let you know that this is not the video that I'm going to go into every single setting here in Bricks. This is not that kind of video, right? But for the things that we might need is like SVG uploads, I turn it on, right? Smooth scroll, I turn that on because I will need it for the nav, right? Because I want to scroll to different sections. And well, nothing else here. If I go to the templates, I added the CSS Bricksmaven. I have my license here, so I'll be using this. And obviously, this is actually where this is where those that have the license can follow along, obviously, because you can import the blocks, the patterns, and I'm not going to be building the patterns from scratch, so you eventually need a license, but it's just to show you if you had a pattern library. And oh, by the way, the free plan comes with 108 patterns, right? But obviously the patterns I'll be using, it might not be included into the 108. So if you really like using, you can test them out. If you like it, you can always get a yearly license or get an LTD, depends on whatever you want. But you do need, if you want to build exactly the same thing that I'm creating, you do need to have a license, right? So that you have all the included patterns. So I already hooked this up, so this is set. As for the builder, there's nothing I changed here. Performance, nothing I changed here. I'm going to use a Google font, so I'm not disabling it. nothing done here, nothing done here. And I obviously enabled code execution because we need that. So this is already set, no custom, nothing here. All these I'm not doing unless I'm using some script, good analytics, or I don't know, if I'm going to track anything, you can put it here. So just saving that. So put whatever, how you like your settings. Make sure this is done. And we're moving on to, we need to go to the template, or we can also do it on a page. I need to go into the Bricks editor, because in the Bricks editor, we need to there's some settings that we need to put there. So think about it. If I go back to my design, obviously I've set my tokens here, like the widths, our spacing, all this information. Obviously you can transfer it to Bricks, right? Because all these variables that you see here, most of them are found also in Bricks, right? I have them there. So we have our primary, we have this set up this same way. You have the trans colors. You can just obviously copy the main primary, and Bricks actually generates the other values for you. Obviously you can always double check to see if it's exactly the same color, but in this case it doesn't really matter for me. So I've already gone ahead and set some settings. So let's just go back to Bricks. So if I go to styles here, as you can see, I put in the colors already. I actually manually created these. Obviously, with the Bricks native framework, you can just import the colors and then change the colors, set it to the correct values, and then you're set. Upload the variables, and this is what you get. You get this full list of all these variables: spacing, the contextual spacings, your box shadows, your radius, your section spacings, background colors, all your different button colors, and they're also all set and implemented in the theme styles. So your colors are set, your button is set, the container is set, which has the content width. Your section also has already padding applied. It has a section space and it has its gutter. So all these things have been done. If you get that framework, you can all have these settings here for you. Your spacing is set, and you have your section spacing. You have heading typography, and you have body text typography. If you go to your settings here, obviously I have the HTML font size set to 62.5%. So some of you like 100. If you set it to 100, obviously it will change the way your fonts will blow up. But just go back and just tweak it, and tweak the base font size, tweak all this stuff, and make sure that everything is the way that you want it to be. As you see, there are no classes because I did not generate any classes. I normally almost do not use utility classes, so I don't have lots. Unless it's some custom situation I need it, but I normally use variables. So if you've set this up, you're actually good to go. And then we move on to our responsive. We need to set the breakpoints. So I think I need to turn that on. Let me save. I didn't turn it on in the settings. So let's go back to the settings. And is it builder? Let's see. Canvas, is it structure panel? Where is it? Or is it on general? Wait. It's not something I really touch much. Yeah, custom breakpoints. It's here. Save settings. Let me refresh and then I'll tweak it. There we go. So as you know, our design, if we go to width, our content width, our container width is 1440. So I'm going to set it to 1440. And to be honest, just update it. That's basically all I'm doing, right? I'm not doing anything else. So this is set to 1440. I'm not changing the tablet portrait, everything, I'm leaving it the same. Okay. So next, what I need to change is also on the variable, our width, site width. Let me see. I need to change this to 144. strange. What's going on? What is this? Okay, it's updated now. That was weird. And automatically this, because I changed this value, the rest will change. All these will change, obviously, because they're all linked to the content with variable here. So everything is automatically updated, and my max screen width is also updated because I'm using the variable here. Okay, so everything is set, and now basically I can start working. You can be, you can also go and change like the buttons, right? Because I don't have, this is the default style now. So if we look at the design, I do need to change the way the buttons look because it doesn't have any radius, and the font style is set to uppercase. So these are changes I can make, but it's not something that I want to do now. I can always do this later. I can change the button style. I just want to continue. So I normally don't do all my settings at the beginning, right? Most important things I do are the typography. Oh, see, I've not even set those. Just almost forgot to do that. So let's set the typography. My typography is set to, let me just check real quick. It's railway and cabin. I'll just copy this, railway and cabin. So let's go back to bricks and theme styles, general, no typography. This was a heading, right? And set to outfit, I'll just say railway. And for the body is cabin. Oh, cabin, yes. So we have cabin set. I'll save that. And then our typography is set. I want to just check one more time if I've not forgotten anything. I think the last thing I just need to do are the buttons, right? Maybe I can maybe remove the radius. So we have our outline, we have a typography, we have our border. So it's set to border radius. Okay, if I go to variables and then button border radius, border. Did I read it correctly? Let me just go back and check one more time. Border button border radius. Sorry, button border radius. Okay, button border radius. Okay, so it's set to XS, right? But now I can set this to 0 because the hover can also be set to 0. So annoying. Just like to select everything by double clicking, but that doesn't work. So now, why does it do that? Okay. This is so strange. Let's try that again. Accept my value. Jeez. Okay, there it is. Save. Okay, so our buttons do not have any border anymore. Let me see if I can then set. Said I was not going to start the button, but it's actually quick to do. Set our typography and then set text transform to uppercase. So this is done. And I wonder if, what about the font family? You know what? I'm just going to set here. I wonder. Let me check which font it's using. Text is okay. So this is cabin. It's using cabin. So now, as you can see, changed it. Set to cabin. It's uppercase. I need to do the same for. Okay, so this is default, right? And I think this should carry over. Let me see border. Okay, that should carry over. Okay, so if I'm correct, all the other buttons should have the same setting. And I think with that, we are done. You know, so it's up to you if you like to tweak your other settings, if you want to tweak the how large your typography is and all those things. But I mostly do that when I'm actually building. I just want to get to the build, and then I can go back and tweak the styles, because from all the websites I've built, sometimes I set certain styles and then maybe I might tweak it later. So I'm like, I'll just build it and then tweak it. It's just your preference, the way you like to work. But there's certainly some things that I tweak beforehand, like I need to have the right font. I need to, there's certain design decisions you need to make up front, right? Before starting. So once I've done those, for me, I just start working. So I hope this was a good setup for you. I'm just trying to keep it basic and not go too in depth, but to give you like just a good overview, right? So in the next video, we'll actually start building. So in the next one, I will be starting with the header. So we'll be doing the header, and we'll also be creating the mobile menu. And if you watch the previous videos, you know that the mobile menu, oops, what's going on here? Yeah, the mobile menu is a off-canvas menu, which once you click on the burger here, it scrolls down from the top, right? And once you close, it goes up. So this is what we're going to be building in the next video. So we're going to set the header and build this out. And note that this is actually a different kind of header where I made the button smaller. And I also have one here that has the same background as the site. So I have to think of what I'm going to do about that. Yeah. But I'll just build the first one, and we might look for a alternative where we build this that without a background, and the colors of the links are white, etc. So we'll look at that, and from there we'll start going down hero, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so I hope this was a good primer, good setup. Once you've done everything, we're actually ready to build. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.